Hi guys, Crochet and Connect here. I'm coming to you today with a couple of finished items and one very confusing item, I guess. So we'll start off with the finished items. So I finished the gingerbread house I was making this is from the Crochet World December 2019 issue, so the most recent issue. This was actually supposed to be a dishcloth made with cotton yarn, but I just made it in acrylic so I could just use it as a decoration to hang. Side note, if you actually did make it as a dishcloth, that would be a really weird dishcloth to use because of all the stuff sewn onto the surface of it. It makes a really lumpy, just weird dishcloth. I don't understand how you would use that, but anyways, so I made this to hang in my front window. And that pack of suction cups I showed in my last video that I bought to hang my decorations in my window does not work. They will not stick at all. I don't know what is wrong with them. Out of that whole pack, I've only got like one to stick. So that is why I'm showing you these items from here and not in my window. So I guess, although I am planning to buy some new Christmas lights to hang outside our window instead of inside. So if I do that, that'll be for next year. But I won't need to use the suction cups for the lights in my window then. So I'll have some extra actually working suction cups to use next year. And if not, if I end up not buying the lights, I'll just buy some new suction cups. But for this year, these decorations are not going in my window. And I don't know if I want to hang the rest of these anyways. They look really weird. So I finished 3 gingerbread men. I decided to just do all gingerbread men instead of finding other ornaments to make. But these gingerbread men turned out much smaller than they were supposed to, and I didn't realize until after I finished the bodies and I was starting the icing. And the icing is done by chaining and then just sewing the chain to the gingerbread man, and it called for 130 chains, I believe, and it took less than 60 to cover this. So I was like, wait, what? So I then realized that the pattern actually calls for what was it, Lion Brand Thick and Quick, which is a number 6 bulky yarn, and I just used worsted weight yarn for this. So it turned out way smaller than it should have, and they look really weird, and the limbs look really weird because they're way smaller than they should be. So I don't know if I want to keep these or make them again, maybe holding 2 or 3 strands of yarn together to make it thicker, or actually buy some Thick and Quick yarn. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to hang these. They look really weird because they're so tiny in my window. So I don't know if I'm actually going to hang these in the window or maybe just put them on my Christmas tree. I don't know. So yeah, so I have to think about those and what I'm going to do about those. I don't know if I'm going to make new ones or not. If I do, that'll have to be for next year because I'm not going to be able to finish any crocheting for this Christmas. There is only, what, like 7 days? So anyways, and then the final item, I was going to start doing this candy cane garland here, and I was going to make a big thick one out of chunky yarn using this Bernat Icicle Holiday, which I don't think they make anymore. I bought this years ago. But I'm having a lot of trouble with this pattern. It's a really short, simple pattern, but I don't think it was written correctly. So as you can see, the right side of these has the candy canes facing that way, but mine came out with the candy canes facing the other way. And they came out like really long and weird, and I redid them with like different stitch counts to try to change how they came out, and they just, I don't know, they're not looking right. When I make them as they're actually supposed to be made, they come out like looking like S's and like really weird. And also it shows the chain is kind of like on the top of the candy canes, and this, it's kind of coming out the middle of the candy canes, so they're not hanging properly. And also the chains in between the candy canes are supposed to, in the picture, it looks like it has about 7 chains in between, but mine kept coming out with like 4 or 5. And I think I don't know if the beginning chain count is wrong, or the number of stitches you're supposed to make is wrong, but it calls for starting off with 14 chains, and then you skip one, and then you work into like 8 other chains. So that's 9 chains of the 14 gone, so you're not going to be left with 7 in between each candy cane. So I don't know, I can't figure out this pattern at all. I don't know if I'm going to keep going and just leave them like this, or just give up and use this yarn for something else. I haven't decided yet. I've looked up this pattern online, and there's like no comments or anything on Etsy or on the Yarn Inspirations website for this. In case anybody's wondering, because this pattern here is made with Bernat Handicrafter, but it is now on the Yarn Inspirations website under the Lily Sugar and Cream, I think, yarn. So yeah, so that's where you'll have to look for that if you want it. And I've also seen it on Etsy, but there are no comments on either of the pages, so it doesn't look like anybody has even made them, let alone run into any problems with them. So I don't know what's going on with this pattern. I think I'm probably going to give up. So yes, that is it for my crochet. I have no idea what I want to crochet next. I'm probably going to come back closer to New Year's with an end of the year recap and plans for 2020 for my crochet. I think I'm going to, as far as the future of this channel, I think I'm going to keep making videos and just see where the whole COPPA thing goes. I don't think I'm that worried, but I did private a lot of videos just in case, and I'm just going to keep going making videos and just see what happens. Being careful what I put in my videos, of course. So, I think that's all I have to talk about today. So I guess I will end there. I hope everybody's been having a good December so far. And I don't think I'm going to be on before Christmas, so just in case I'm not back on before Christmas, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, or a happy whatever else you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything, just have a great rest of the month. So yeah, so I hope everybody's been having a great month, and happy crafting.